Hello everyone, Conmisha here, bringing you my second video game review. This time I'm reviewing Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. Alright, there's an interesting coincidence with this game, and that is, I was actually thinking to myself one day, I really want to have a RPG to play. And then, Anime Salvation, which is who's I'm doing the review for, wanted me to do this game review for this game. Well, I said yes because I wanted an RPG and I love anime related stuff, and this is exactly that. Then someone happened to randomly give me a copy as well, so I ended up with a couple copies all at the same time. So, yeah, coincidence or conspiracy, I don't know. Alright, but let's go ahead and actually get on with the review. Besides just talking about the random stuff that happened involving it. Okay. Basically, the story in this game revolves around Neptune, the girl in the middle of the picture. She is one of a group of goddesses who pretty much represents a video game console. She represents Sega, I believe, because this is a Sega-owned game. And she pretty much gets defeated in a like a battle royal fight open. I can't remember what the name of the place is in the game, but she gets sent down to Planetoon or something. I can't remember the name of the city, like the country, and she loses her memories. Well, she meets a couple of people. They are going on a quest to do two things: get her memories back, and release a ancient well, I would say grimoire, but it's not really a grimoire. It's just a girl who happens to know like everything. Her name's History, I believe. I know I'm not pronouncing it the way it's supposed to be, but I can't pronounce stuff the way it's pronounced in the game. I just can't do it. But overall, though, I did enjoy the story because of the characters mainly. The characters are what makes this story actually good. The fact that each of the characters has a very unique personality, and pretty much all the characters are decent, except for a few side characters you meet. They don't have much of a personality, but the main girls all have a pretty good personality. And there are tons, and I do mean tons, of inside jokes involving video game related jokes, anime, manga, and sometimes I think you even get just random pop culture jokes mixed in as well. So it just happened to actually fit exactly into what I would call my sweet spot of jokes. So that's a good thing. Also, let's see, I mentioned the characters, I mentioned the jokes. Let's see, let's go with the gameplay. Basically, it's, you get like one, you get a map. And all the different dungeons are listed on the map. Basically, you can go to a dungeon and clear it, and you just get random items. Not really random, it's all set items, really. You can kind of slightly randomize them if you grind a lot. That's my complaint with this game. There is a grinding in it. I do mean a lot. Especially towards the end. You grind so much, it's not even funny. But then again, for most old school RPGs, you do end up grinding a lot in them as well. But this one, there's a lot you gotta grind for, especially for any of the extra content that that you want to get to make your character better, or at least look decent. If you want to go with the many outfits in this game, there's so many. Let's see. The combat is pretty decent though. I actually like this kind of a turn-based, but also has some strategy elements because every character has a movement range and a certain range for whatever attack they're going to use. So you can actually set up some pretty decent combos sometimes if you set up a good formation. So I actually enjoyed the combat, but I can see that a lot of people might not, and that's just mainly because overall it's a turn-based RPG for the most part. And I know a lot of people don't like turn-based RPGs, but me, I'm a fan of the old school, and I don't mind them at all. But there's a lot of people who just strictly action RPGs. So, that's the gameplay, really. There's not much else to it, besides the crafting, and there is a lot of crafting, and also part of the grind is to craft new items, like just, you can craft all sorts of stuff. You can actually craft gameplay stuff, related stuff, like, now you are immune to, like, poison, or something, or, no, it's like immune to all status elements, or you got resistance to them. But yeah, you can, like, craft all sorts of stuff. You can craft dungeons, up to, you know, they're set dungeons though, but you gotta craft them to actually enter them. But basically, like, I actually enjoyed that quite a bit, because I almost liked the grind, but I hated it at the same time because it's so time consuming. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the negative parts of the game. Basically, the grind is the biggest negative because towards the end, it gets so ridiculous how much you got to grind to actually, like, do stuff. But it's, like I said, it's tolerable, but it hurts me on the inside because I was hoping to beat it fast, but there's a few areas where the difficulty ramped up on me, and I had to grind a lot. Alright, now for something that affected me in the game, and that is, there was some gnarly glitches that just wrecked me, and I'm gotta give a negative for this. And that is because the game actually completely bugged out at one point, where it decided to, like, in the mid, like, I went to go fight an enemy. It did the swirly animation, but it never ended. And well, not just that, but it ended out a save, like, my top save slot. It completely deleted it. Where that had so much, it had so much stuff on that save slot because that was the last save I did. So, because I was actually slightly rotating them about every 2 hours of gameplay would be a different save slot. And then I'll go up and go back through and cycle. Well, I actually goofed up and I didn't save for a good while, and it took out so much of my time. Like, I had to redo so much. So yeah, that was a horrible experience. Also, occasionally you do get some chug, like massive chug during a couple fights. Just like, it's mainly in one dungeon, which is like a factory, I believe it was. One of the factories. I don't remember which one. I think it's the first one. There's some chug there. Let's see. But yeah, that was horrible. Also, the keyboard customization, there's a lot of options on there. This ain't really a negative. This is actually more of a positive. since there's so many, like you can rebind almost everything. But I actually end up using just the gamepad because for me it was easier than doing that. Oh, here's a negative for the UI. Every time I opened the came back into the game after closing it, it would reset all my settings. So um, I wish that was something that was fixed because I would hate to have to switch like from I think it was Japanese to English and all that stuff. I had to redo that every single time I got in, and it was aggravating. Let's just say that. Um, but yeah, overall though, I really enjoyed this game. If you love turn-based RPGs, I would highly recommend this. Well, if you like anime. I know there's a lot of people who don't, but if you're watching this on my channel, more than likely you like anime. But yeah, I'll give it an 8.5. The chugging, the um, occasional glitches, that might just be me, but I don't know. I've actually heard someone say they also had the same problem, so that's why I'm putting it as a negative for the game. And then the grind was pretty brutal. Um, Overall, though, I highly recommend it. If you love turn-based RPGs, and there's not that many of them on Steam, so I highly recommend it. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this review, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, I have a Twitter. I do sometimes stream on Twitch. I actually streamed this game a couple times, and that's how some people was like also was noticing they was having the chugging at the same area. So yeah, um, I will try to do more game reviews in the future. I don't know what game systems I'm going to be reviewing for really. Oh, actually, I do have one game review coming up, and that's for Paperbound. It's not out yet, but I will have a review for it eventually. So keep an eye out for that one. And yeah, I do recommend buying it. Because CyberConnect and Sega actually did really good on this, except for they had some issues, and I think they're fixing most of them. I think a lot of the bugs are getting patched out. So, yeah. Who knows? Maybe by the time this is up, even those bugs that I mentioned have been fixed. You never know.